one. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Generally Divided, a YouTube video podcast for all you out there that pits let's see, you're on this side, Gen Z versus Gen X or a Zennial, and we go head to head on a wide variety of topics. Today we are continuing on actually from our last episode. And if you didn't watch our last episode, hit pause, go watch it, then come back here and you know what we're talking about. And that is Fortnite yet again. And why are we talking about Fortnite there, Gen Z guy?
Well, it changed. So originally Fortnite was this multiplayer platform game. We talked about how it had all these characters and how it had this cool underlining storyline, but Fortnite just took a big left turn. And for a lot of players, it's been good and fresh and new. But for a lot of players, it's been pretty surprising and they've had a lot of negative comments about it.
Let's time out real quick. So what you're saying is Fortnite just released Chapter 3, Season 2. So it was a complete update, and you're calling it almost like an overhaul.
It is, yeah. It's a huge overhaul.
Now you can continue. Yeah. Now we know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, it is a huge overhaul. It is not just a few little updates. It's not just like a small change. They went from the underlining story to massive story-driven multiplayer. So they're taking it to a whole nother level. I know you said in our last video that you weren't too much of a fan of the storyline. That's more of a solo, and I do agree. A story should be solo play because you can pick it up, leave it off, and it doesn't really affect your playing against other players. But Fortnite really just decided to switch it all up. Now building mode is completely taken off. They've shut it off. And a lot of the massive builders, there's builder pros that are out there that are losing their minds because there's a lot of people that can build 10-story house in like 10 seconds. And I know it drives us all crazy who aren't that good at building. So this has changed up the gameplay. There's parkour mechanics. There's new abilities where you can sprint and jump on buildings. And it just seems a lot smoother. So I think what they're doing is they're using the storyline that the game has, and they just made the multiplayer focus on that because no one's focusing on their storyline anymore on their campaign. I know the Save the World version is completely just lost in the winds. No one talks about it anymore. No one really plays it. It's kind of lost its vigor. So they're focusing on their multiplayer and turning that into their story, which I think is smart because no one's playing their storyline. So they're like, okay, well, we'll use our multiplayer and tell a story with that. And at the same time, keep it fresh.
So
new area.
Have you played it just got released today as of the day that we're recording this episode. So have you played it since it's been released?
Yes, I have. I had the luxury of playing it on a PS5, so higher graphics, faster loading time.
Ooh, lucky you.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, yes, I agree with you that, they have switched it. I played it 2 games real quick just to know what to talk about here, but didn't really notice more of the storyline that you're talking about. It was just, there's always been an underlying story that kind of like drives, where the new characters are coming from and what they're doing there. And that continued with this. I found it interesting, and maybe that's why when I first booted it up after the Battle Pass entry video, whatever, and once I saw that, I was kind of cringing a little bit just because what's going on with the world today in Russia and Ukraine, and how Russia stupidly is invading Ukraine, that they had a scene video montage of an invasion. And I guess that's why they have the whole we support Ukraine splash screen at the beginning, which I thought was a nice touch. Very good that they're helping support the humanitarian relief efforts in Ukraine. But I was a little concerned about that at first, honestly, and especially with some of the way the map is laid out with you could see the effects of a war zone and stuff like that. So hopefully it will take a more lighthearted approach as it going forward. But another thing with the gameplay, getting away from that aside, the gameplay, I loved it. I did, because build mode I absolutely sucked at. I hated it. My brain was always like 10 steps ahead of where my hands and the buttons were. So in my mind, I had built up, like you said, the 10-story building in 10 seconds, but the controller was barely switching over to build mode. So I was terrible at that. I'll admit it. Glad it's gone. I do like the sprinting, the sprint jumping, the climbing is pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice, refreshing change of pace for everyone. And I don't care if those builders get mad.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of like negative reviews on it recently, especially on TikTok. Us like everywhere right now, they're all saying how they need to bring it back and how they miss it. But what people miss, and I missed this too in the beginning, is build mode is retrievable. You can get it back. And I'm thinking what they're doing is they're going to make it so that that part is, so it's basically stolen. The whole IO guards, if you guys aren't familiar with it, the IO imagined order is the bad guys and the 7 order are the good guys. So if you look at the map, we have the big plot of map and there's a red zone, and all that red zone marked out is the imagined order.
Oh, is that what those lines are? Okay.
Yes. So it's the imagined order. And if you see the small blue lines, those are the 7. So those are the non-aggressive. Those are the non-aggressive NPCs, and the red zone, all aggressive NPCs. And right now it's a battle between those two. So the character that the Dwayne Rock Johnson is playing is trying to save the map and save the players. And the imagined order is trying to take control and dig and burrow underground to, I guess, amass some kind of power. So the build got stolen by them. That's why we have parkour. So if you pay attention to the little details and the little walkie-talkie talk that they have, where they're telling you, hey, this is what's going on. And, you know, they're teaching you how to do the parkour. All that is purposeful for the fact that they're not just trying to get you to try a new mechanic. They took out builds completely so that you have to use this new mechanic and you have to get good at it. So that when they do usher in build mode, because that is what set it apart, now they have both. And now there's people that are like, okay, well, you built a wall. I can just climb up and jump over that wall. So it kind of changes the gameplay, but they needed people to first try out this new mechanic. Because if we still had build mode, that's what people would resort to because they know that more. But I know they're going to bring it back. They have to. That's what set.
Why?
They have to. Fortnite was built upon this foundation of not only having a massive story, not only having these great characters, DC, Ghostbusters, everybody together, but it's the only game I've seen where you can build on the dime while fighting to make your own little wall or protection. Yeah, your own little fort. I mean, the whole build mode, creative, combat, everything is built on Fortnite, ergo the name. So with this new feature that they're adding, they had to take away their biggest player, which is the building, so that they can introduce this new mechanic, which I like. I really feel that this mechanic is going to revolutionize the way we play. I mean, we already had sliding added. I knew it was only a matter of time before we got this more advanced feature, which makes the game more updated. I mean, if we look at it how it started in the beginning to now, that's a massive change. And it was from black and white. I mean, there's sliding, there's climbing, there's running. Now you have super sprinting. We have tanks added. I mean, this is just a massive change and it's a big step up. Fortnite did an amazing job with that. Not only that, but they have the battle pass now. Have you seen the battle pass?
I saw the glimpse of it. I saw that they added Doctor Strange in, which is interesting. It's cool. I know his movie's coming out soon, so it's a good tie-in for Marvel to. And what makes me wonder then is, since they're doing Doctor Strange, you know, his next movie's Multiverse of Madness, if they're going to bring in some sort of multiverse into Fortnite. And another thing that made me chuckle, and this goes back to when we first started playing Fortnite with the very first 4 basic skins that you had, right? There was, I think, 2 guys and 2 girls. And those were if you didn't have any additional skins, you were assigned one of those base skins, right? So now in the store, you can buy those, what they're calling vintage like skins vintage costumes so you can go back and pretend to be back from the original ones. I thought, wow, that's clever, Epic. Way to make money off of your original skin. So I got a good chuckle out of that. And that was interesting. But I'm looking forward to what they're doing with Doctor Strange. I'm not sure how he fits into the storyline. I guess it's just part of the battle pass. I don't know. We'll see if I spend the money on that or not.
Well, for me, I know exactly what they're doing. Doctor Strange was hinted in way earlier on. This was something that I was anticipating for a while. I follow a lot of the people that try and leak ideas that they think Epic's going to do, skin ideas, things that are proposed to Epic. And Doctor Strange was among those, along with his back bling, the Book of Cagliostro. And they also showed where they got the ideas. So this Doctor Strange is pulled straight from Infinity War during his battle with Thanos. And very briefly, Epic saw him use a scimitar, his pickaxe in the game. So he used a weapon of magic and they pulled that as his,
well, of course,
his harvest tool. So,
well, there's another thing.
Clever.
Harvesting is kind of kaput now too.
Yeah,
right?
It is.
You don't need to do it anymore. So that's kind of cool. That's a nice change. You don't have to worry about collecting raw material to build because there's no building. So I was playing and I was like, I started to hit down trees and stuff. I was like, wait a minute. Why am I doing this? I don't need to. So I just thought it was cool because I got to just sneak around. And yeah, I do like that bit. I like the fact that I don't have to worry about building or collecting resources for building. I like that it's all battle, no building. And I kind of like that. And I hope it stays longer than just this one season. I hope the people who are complaining about it and don't get their way and get it added back. Maybe they can have two different modes, one with building on, one with building off, to allow people who
think they will. I think they will.
People who like this stay in this lane, and people who like building stay in that lane. And of course, there's going to be one where both of them are in there and whatnot. But I hope it stays.
I agree. I really enjoy this parkour mechanic. I hope that they continue to build upon this and just keep adding into this parkour mechanic. There's so much they can do with it. I mean, Look at all the games that deal with parkour and how traversal it makes the game. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just took away the web shooters. So now there has to be another form of quick travel. And they added that with the turrets that they have now. So now you can shoot yourself and launch yourself across the map.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's based off of, do you remember the pirate season that they had?
Yeah, the cannons, yeah.
And you can launch yourself. Mm-hmm. Same base mechanic. They improved it a little bit, so it's a little smoother now. And the tanks are now, so when you're in squads, you can have two people on top, and you can have someone on a turret, and you can have the person driving, shooting the tank. It's just really advanced. Now they added vehicle mods. So now you can throw on a giant, they call it, I think, the cow muncher or something. And it's like a giant shield that goes on the front of your car. And you can just destroy buildings.
It looked like, to me, I think someone hit me with that. It looked like a big snowplow.
Yeah, it looks exactly like a snowplow.
Yeah, so.
It's really cool. I saw someone add it to a truck. And it just destroys buildings.
I saw that too when they rammed me with it. Trust me.
You felt the effects of it.
Well, I think personally, I think Epic is onto something here with the no building and parkour added and stuff. And you like it. I mean, I know you also like building too, but I just couldn't get over the fact I hated it that I pushed the build button, tried to build a wall and switch back to my weapon, but it was still in build mode, didn't switch back by the time I went to shoot. Then it built a wall. So it just, it frustrated me to no end. So I'm glad they did what they did. What about everyone out there in YouTube land? What do you guys think? Have you played the update? A, B, do you like it? C, what would you like change from it? And D, why are you wrong and we're right? No, just playing. So let us know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like of the new Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 2. And we look forward to playing with all you guys. Maybe we'll drop our gamer tags in the comments or the description box so you can add us and challenge us and and teach us some lessons, or at least me, of, of how to play.
I'm totally down for that.
So I think that'd be kind of fun. Get to play a few rounds against all y'all who watch and listen to us. And yeah, we look forward to it, and we'll see you all next time.